Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you and welcome to the American Bank Center here in Corpus Christi, Texas. As we have a big night of action coming your way, and it's all brought to you by Goose and Tudor Promotions in association with Corona and Showtime. This World Championship attraction is also presented in conjunction with Don King Productions and Samson Boxing and is sanctioned by the IBF President Darrell Peoples, Supervisor in Attendance David McCullough, along with the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation. Introducing to you our three judges scoring from ringside. From Texas, Joel Elizondo. From Minnesota, Denny Nelson. And from Texas, David Robertson. Our third man of the ring, the referee in charge of this bout, Mark Nelson. All right, fans, here we go. 12 rounds of boxing for the IBF Light Heavyweight Championship of the World. Introducing to you first, the challenger on my left, fighting out of the blue corner. Wearing red trunks with yellow trim, hailing from Madrid, Spain. He weighed in at a ready 173.5 pounds. His record stands at 21 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw, with 7 wins coming by way of knockout. Currently ranked the IBF number 3 contender. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the former WBA light heavyweight champion of the world, introducing Gabriel Chico Guapo Campillo. And his opponent across the ring on my right, fighting out of the red corner, the defending world champion wearing tiger striped trunks. Hailing from Tallahassee, Florida, he weighed in at the light heavyweight limit of 175 pounds even. He is undefeated in his campaign with a record of 23 wins, no losses, 19 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight making the 4th defense of his title, please welcome the defending and undefeated IBF light heavyweight champion of the world, introducing Tavoris And now introducing our referee in charge, now to give instructions, Mark Nelson.
Back up. Gabriel, Tavoris, you've had your instructions in the dressing room. You know exactly what I expect for the IBF light heavyweight title. Give me a good, hard, clean fight and protect yourself at all times. Obey the bell. Touch gloves. Good luck to both of you.
All right, we are ready. 12 rounds in the light heavyweight division for the IBF world title. And the challenger from Madrid, Spain, Gabriel Campillo. He said that Cloud is a very strong fighter, but doesn't have much technique, and he's not that fast. I will use fast movement and intelligence. Meanwhile, for the champion, defending his title for the 4th time, every fight I'm trying to get more fans and reach more people. He won't be able to hit me with a handful of rice.
That sounds like an Antonio Tarverism, doesn't it?
Round number 1. Cloud, normally a very fast starter.
One of the things to look for early, and already we see it, Campillo cannot stand right in front of Tavoris Cloud. So already we see the circling motion that he's giving, and he's going to have to use that and use the angles during this fight.
And also you see him circling to the opposite way of what a normal southpaw, a natural southpaw would normally circle.
You're right.
I do that sometime.
Yeah.
And what he's trying to do is set up a counter left hand over Cloud's right hand.
It's a great point.
Cloud has fought lefties twice early in his career. He went the distance with Reggie Strickland, 4 rounds in 2005, and he TKO'd Joey Hill in 3.
And that was a long time ago, and those were very novice left-handers. So we'll see how he handles a world-class lefty.
Campillo, 9-year pro, ranked number 3. in the IBF at 175 pounds. He's 2-1 in world championship fights. And an interesting road, Al, for Campillo to get here to Corpus Christi.
Oh, yeah. He's had, you know, he was a former champion. He's had two very questionable, he's coming off two questionable decisions. A loss to Bebut Shumanov, who won back the title that he won, and then a draw to Karol Marat in a title eliminator. Both fights he could easily have gotten a decision win. But he is a former champion. He beat Shumanov.
Oh, my! And dropped him! He set him up, and he dropped him with a straight right in the first round.
And that's the type of power that I was speaking about earlier that has these other light heavyweights kind of nervous about seeing Tavoris Cloud.
Cloud closing in with 1 minute and 6 remaining. Campillo, can he hold on? Campillo, they stop it.
Oh.
They stop it.
They're calling a knockdown.
They're going to call it a knockdown.
Because he hit the ropes.
6, 7, 8. Ready? Come here. Walk to me.
2 knockdowns in the first round. 43 seconds left. Campillo in major trouble as the Cloud closes in. The champion. He wanted to win in impressive style. If he could finish him in the first round, he would accomplish his goal.
Campillo's going to have to punch to keep Cloud off him, not just move.
Cloud patient. 18 seconds.
And what Campillo is not doing is keeping his range. He has the height and the reach advantage.
Seconds.
But you see Cloud getting in close.
Guys.
It's going to be a long night if he
here.
continues to do that.
Or a short one.
Wow. What a first round in Corpus Christi. Tavoris Cloud, when we talked to him yesterday, guys, he was an angry man, and you see what he can do when he focuses.
Well, he came out with a rage in this fight, and, you know, the left hook is what he is more known for, but there's the straight right hand. Campillo had put himself in range for that punch by circling to his left, which Antonio says truthfully is sometimes a good move, but you don't expect this from Tavoris Cloud. He's more of a left hooker.
Well, he has power in both hands. I mean, he's just a devastating puncher. And he's getting too close. If Campillo is going to stay in this fight, he's going to have to use that jab and set the range.
Now, here's where Mark Nelson called this a knockdown because he hit the ropes.
Well, the rope saved him from the knockdown.
Exactly, and that's why he called it a knockdown. Yeah.
It looked as if Nelson was ready to not only step in and call it a knockdown, but step in and stop the fight. Second round, scheduled for 12 in the light heavyweight division. The IBF world title on the line. The champion in the tiger trunks, Tavoris Cloud. The challenger in the red and gold, Gabriel Campillo.
And you talk about digging a hole. That was a 10-7 round for Tavoris Cloud. Oh, my, another right hand hurts Campillo. Campillo is not landing against Cloud as I thought he might. Cloud's defense, excellent so far.
It is, and he's allowing Cloud to counter everything that he throws because he's throwing it and he's leaving it out there. He's not snapping that jab. Neither is he snapping that straight left hand.
You're right.
So he's going to have to make some changes.
And quick.
We'd like to introduce the fourth member of our team, Chuck Chiampa. Chuck, your thoughts on what's taken place so far?
Well, Cloud has taken over completely. The reason he called that a knockdown was, as you said earlier, the ropes held him up. If he was not on the ropes, he would have gone down. It was a 10-7. He won the round, and 2 knockdowns would be a 10-7.
And thank you very much. 1 minute and 50 remaining in the second round, scheduled for 12. Tavoris Cloud, very patient in the ring. Cloud coming off an 8th round TKO win against Yusuf Mack in June. But he hasn't been a consistent fighter. He fought only 6 times in the last 4 years, only 1 time in 11, 2 times in 10, 1 time in 09, and twice in 2008.
Now, what's happened here in this round? All of a sudden, Cloud is going backwards and Campillo's punching a lot. It's as if he just decided to see how it would be Cloud. It's interesting. And there's where Campillo's raking him over the coals.
Well, you know what? That's the knock on Cloud. Sometimes he gets comfortable instead of finishing the job. You leave a guy around and a guy gets confident. You know, that's all experience. And right now he's taking some hard shots.
That's the Campillo we saw on tape. That's the Campillo that we thought was a tough guy for Cloud.
All right, let's take a look at the show stat power punches early on.
And you see that Cloud, of course, he's outlanded Campillo in power punches, but Campillo started to you know, narrow the margin now in this round, and Campillo's winning this round. Now, granted, he's down 3 points in this fight going into this round, but he has made a statement here in round 2.
And you wonder, Antonio, for a fighter like Tavoris Cloud, after he's felt Campillo's power, you see starting the second round, he was moving backwards, and usually fighters that go forward, they don't know how to go backwards, especially if they get in trouble. Could that be an experimental situation for him?
No. You see, he's composed. I mean, he's doing a lot of things in there, but those punches are landing. They're landing crisp, and he's doing a lot of things. But right now, he just needs to continue to put the pressure on.
So let's go into the blue corner, the corner of Gabriel Campillo, and listen to our translator, Felix de Jesus.
That was the round that we were looking for. You got to keep working the body inside and try to lift him up. You're going to win if you keep working the body. But you got to keep lifting him up. Try lifting him up when you go inside with the body. You see, he doesn't have anything else. That's what you need to work with.
Campillo with this combination punching, this is what makes him a special fighter when he does this. And Tavoris Cloud sometimes gets frozen when you throw those combinations.
Now it's going to be up to Tavoris Cloud to raise the intensity in this fight. He got to go to another level.
Third round for the IBF World title in the light heavyweight division. Tavoris Cloud, the champion, in Tiger Trunks. Gabriel Campillo, the challenger from Madrid, Spain. 21-3-1 record with 7 KOs. Campillo in the gold and red. And Campillo very strong in that second round.
I love that tweet.
Oh.
There you go, fan-friendly fire. So the folks tweeting in on on Twitter, they love Gus, they love Tavoris Cloud. How come we didn't get any love from them? What's going on here?
Well, Al, you got love from the International Boxing Hall of Fame.
Well, here comes Tavoris Cloud trying to get something more than love. Of course, the fans responding on Twitter during the course of this fight, and that's a great interactive thing. Look at those combinations.
Another nice right uppercut from Campillo. He landed one in the second round as well. When you're southpaw, Antonio, and you're fighting a guy that's a straight-ahead fighter like a Tavoris Cloud, what's in your mind? What do you want to do?
Right now, you want to just give him little angles right there and move. Make him turn into your power. Right now, it's the Matador versus the Bull, and Campillo is doing a good job being the Matador right now. He's walking Tavoris Cloud into some of these shots.
And make no mistake, Campillo is sometimes he's a little bit of an arm puncher, but he still has authority on those punches. He's not a one-punch knockout artist, but those are solid punches.
An accumulation of punches can really get a guy out of there. He's going to the body and to the head right now, Al.
Oh, wow. This fight had the earmarks of one that was going to be very good, and I'll tell you, it's shaping up that way. A huge start by Cloud, but now look at Campillo doing what we knew he was capable of doing if he could withstand the power of Cloud.
Campillo, his father worked in a chemical and metal factory growing up. He passed away 8 years ago. Didn't start fighting until he was 20. Had 25 amateur fights, finished with a 24-1 record, and he was the Spanish national champion.
Now, he as a sparring partner, Campillo had Yusuf Mack, who of course is the man who just lost to Tavoris Cloud, and he was exclusively his sparring partner.
Campillo is landing some very solid shots, and it looked like Tavoris' Cloud legs buckled a little bit there with one of those uppercuts that he didn't see.
Obey the bell here. Time.
Third round coming to an end as Tavoris Cloud takes a seat on the stool. And Al, what are the keys for Tavoris, the champion, this evening?
Well, to jab with conviction. I think the double left hook's an important weapon, even though he landed the right hand to hurt him, and we haven't seen that hook to the body and the head as much. And here's the third one. This is the most important one. To keep those hands up as he's attacking, because we see the combination punching of Campillo. And let's take a look at how Campillo is able to exploit the defensive problems. There's the straight left hand, but he doesn't stop with that. To land an uppercut from that far back is actually amazing, and then he makes him miss. And you made the point, Antonio, that the body work of Campillo is also impressive.
Campillo is doing a lot of good work right now. He has Tavoris Cloud thinking about defense. This guy's hitting me now. I just can't walk in any kind of way.
IBF World Title on the line. 12 rounds here in the light heavyweight division. The challenger, Gabriel Campillo from Madrid, Spain, in the gold and red. And he's really been coming on after being knocked down twice in the first round. According to my scorecard, he has won the next 2 rounds. As we go into the fourth, the champion, Tavoris Cloud, in the Tiger trunks, looks like he's having some problems pulling the trigger over the last couple of rounds.
Well, right now he's getting a little bit closer, but the difference is he hadn't landed anything significant in a while. Campillo right now is in his groove. He's feeling like he's confident enough to make him miss and make him pay. He's right there, but he's not getting hit with those big bums.
I'm sorry. All right, let's take a look at the power punches landed in the last round. Cloud 1 of 16, Campillo 14 of 41.
That's staggering given the fact that Cloud had such a huge first round. Now, Campillo has slowed his pace a little bit in terms of numbers of punches in this round, but still, as Antonio pointed out, Cloud's had a hard time landing the big punch.
And in watching Tavoris Cloud fight, you rarely see him go backwards this much.
No, that's actually puzzling. He almost started to do it in round 2 on his own. Of course, Campillo's taking advantage of that by, Cloud became the boxer and Campillo became the attacker.
It don't seem like Cloud has an answer when Campillo is going forward at him. He stands there with his hands locked in, and Campillo is able to get those shots off. He needs to be breaking, moving, and rolling up under the taller guy.
Now there's that double left hook by Cloud, and look what it opened up for him.
Cloud moving in, straight right hand to the chest. Campillo stepping off.
That's the difference right there. Again, Cloud was in position, but he was not able to land those big shots. Campillo came back with some combination punches.
This is an interesting round. Both men have done good work in this round. It'll be interesting to see how the judges look at this round. And I think Cloud has done one thing very well in this round. He started to rip the body with those hooks and bring it to the head. But Campillo comes with those great counter punches.
And it looks like there's some blood coming from the left eye of Cloud.
Hands free. Hands free.
Campillo telling us movement, intelligence, the key for him against Tavoris Cloud. As Gabriel Campillo, Chico Guapo, handsome man is his nickname, sits on the stool. And what are the keys?
Well, we talked about Campillo using angles. Just a little bit of lateral movement is enough. You can freeze Cloud with combination punching, and he's an excellent combination puncher, Campillo. We've seen evidence of that. No arm punches. He is getting more, I think, more behind the punches, Campillo, than he sometimes does. So he's starting to fulfill those keys.
And there's a cut. Referee says that it came from a punch, not a headbutt.
Yeah. Remember how you pull his hand down? Pull his hand down. Deep breath, don't panic. This is your fight. Corner it up. So corner it up. You dog, man. You dog, man.
Here, guys.
The 5th round scheduled for 12 for the IBF World title in the light heavyweight division. Tavoris Cloud, the champion. After round 1, he has not looked himself, taking on the challenger, Gabriel Campillo from Madrid, Spain. Let's bring in Chuck Giampa. Chuck.
Yes, after 4 rounds, Campillo really has taken over the fight from the 2nd round on. The key to scoring is effective aggression, and he is doing just that, hitting Cloud from angles, and when he gets hit, he comes back with 2 and 3 combinations. I got it even after 4 rounds.
And there was the combination punching again that Chuck just talked about. And, you know, one of the things that Antonio mentioned earlier that shouldn't go unnoticed, that while Cloud has done good work to the body, Campillo has also gone downstairs a lot, which could slow Cloud down a little bit. And the Campillo guys said they think Cloud fades after 5 rounds. I don't know that that's the case, but if they are right about that, then he's definitely going to be in a good position.
What's very interesting is that Cloud was originally scheduled to fight a right-hander, but that fight fell through 3 weeks before it was supposed to happen.
Yes, and it got switched to lefty, and as we pointed out, he's only faced a couple of lefties early in his career, Cloud. And I think this fight is tougher than Zolt or Day would have been. I felt it when they made it, and it certainly looks like it now.
Work out.
Yeah, coming into this fight, Al, you thought that this would be a very, very hard, tough fight for Cloud. I didn't see it on paper, but now I'm seeing what you were talking about. It
didn't look like it in round 1, but yeah, I mean, I just think he's a very good combination puncher. And let's remind everybody, you know, Cloud hurt him badly in round 1. He could hurt him at any time in this fight and completely turn this around.
Short left hook landing for Tavoris Cloud.
Now, in that posture, I think Cloud needs to rip those shots to the body when he gets him close to the ropes and keep him against the ropes. I think he's allowing Campillo to get off the ropes too easy, and there's that combination punching again.
I don't think this is a fight that Tavoris Cloud can gamble with that one punch, changing it around in his favor. He's going to have to start digging tough and winning some of these rounds.
I agree with you, Antonio. You can't wait for that Hail Mary pass.
Coming to the end of the 5th round. Uppercut landing for Campillo. Cloud with the cowering left hook. And a big smile as he heads back to the corner. Inside NASCAR returns to Showtime on Wednesday, February 29th at 9 with a 1-hour Daytona 500 special edition. The Cloud family watching out of Tallahassee, Florida. His beautiful wife to the right, his mom to the left. Just talking to them yesterday. They came into our meeting. Very, very interesting family story. Mother having to raise Tavoris by herself. He met his wife while his wife was considering competing in boxing. And he met her at the gym. She said that when her husband goes into the ring, he is not her husband anymore. He's an animal, he's a beast, and she gets a chance to see him when he finally comes home and has tea parties and plays Barbie with his daughter.
And a quick note of condolences to Chris Myers, of course, our colleague on Inside NASCAR, a very fine sportscaster, man I've known for years. His son, his 19-year-old son, passed away in a car accident, and we offer him and his family our sincere condolences.
6th round, scheduled for 12 for the IBF light heavyweight world title. The champion is Tavoris Cloud out of Tallahassee, Florida, in the Tiger Trunks. He's undefeated, 23-0 with 19 KOs. But he does not look like himself. He has not established the kind of pace that we are accustomed to seeing from him.
You're absolutely right, Gus. And he's going to have to pick it up, like I said before. Dig those shots to the body if you get an opportunity. And he can't keep walking straight in. Campillo is waiting on him, and he's hitting him with uppercuts that he can't see, and that cut is bad. It's cut on two different sides, up top of his eye and at the bottom.
And it was ruled, of course, that it was not a clash of heads. Now, Cloud has been busier in this round, so that part is good for him, but he's got to land effectively. And, of course, those cuts create another subplot, as you guys pointed out.
Body shots by both fighters here in the 6th round.
And that tweet makes the point that we've been making, that he let him back into this fight. When he gets him on the ropes, he's got to be busy, Tavoris Cloud.
And he got to set traps also. He got to trick this guy. You know, he just can't allow these, the basic 1, 2, 3. You got to switch it up with a feint. Maybe throw something to the body and then come over top. He has to surprise Campillo if he want to land that big punch.
In this round, Cloud has thrown 30 more punches and landed 9 more already than Campillo. So this is a round in which he's starting to turn it around a little bit, but then he lets Campillo back in with those kind of combinations.
Campillo using his reach, throwing combinations, turning Cloud.
Even, you know, you're looking at the ring generalship that Campillo is using right now is very good. And again, Cloud's going to have to set him up with that shot that he don't see, and he's going to have to do it by not doing it in a basic fashion like he's doing now.
And what does a smaller orthodox fighter need to do against a tall, rangy southpaw?
He has to let him reach for him, and he has to come over with the counter shot that he don't see. Has to make the taller guy reach and come over with the counter shot that he don't see, whether hook or straight right hand.
Obey the bell here. Obey the bell. Time.
After if you miss with that left hook, come right back with a right hand. He'll go right into it. Get a sponge for the back of his neck.
You got to keep lifting him up, and you got to show some more punches, and this is all he has. Put your head down and keep punching. You got to keep showing more punches for this round.
The thing I'm surprised at, and I know Abinanti is a great coach, great trainer, there's no urgency in that corner. I mean, they're so busy working on the cut that they're not giving any instructions to Tavoris Cloud in order to turn this fight around.
Yeah, it's interesting. Now, that round, I thought Tavoris Cloud won, and I think you agree. So with that 10-7 round at the beginning and that one, this is still a very, very close fight. But yes, I agree with you. They want it. You've got to keep him really motivated and busy and throwing punches. And in the last round, he did throw a lot more than Campillo. Campillo himself, one of the knocks on him is that he has these lull periods in fights, and I think he's starting to have one. That last round, this is what he needs, the combinations. That's not a lull.
And Cloud, no answer as he moves straight back. Cloud really having trouble with Campillo. Now Cloud answering. Tavoris Cloud, undefeated fighter, trying to get to the next step in his career at the light heavyweight division. He wants to fight the Chad Dawsons. He wants to fight the Bernard Hopkins. But he hasn't been given an opportunity. This was supposed to be a launching pad for him on Showtime tonight. He's had other fights that have fallen through on other networks. He wanted to make sure that he came out in this fight, gentlemen, and be impressive so that he could create an even bigger fan base.
Yeah, he had the opportunity to do that, but right now, sometimes you can lose focus. I mean, you're so busy waiting on that big super fight that can change your life, you forget about the guy in front of you.
And he just switched to the lefty stance, which I've not seen him do. Now he's back to righty.
That's frustration.
Yeah.
That's frustration because you don't have an answer for these little short combination punches that you have to believe is hurting and getting to Tavoris Cloud right now.
And you can see now the confidence of Campillo really starting to soar after being knocked out twice in the first round. Campillo really starting to put the pressure on Tavoris Cloud, the champion.
Gus, you mentioned it earlier. When you back a fighter like Tavoris Cloud up repeatedly, you are taking away most of his strength. And I think that cut's bothering him as well. Now, that's what Cloud needs to do. Be forward, come forward and land lots of punches.
And what I like about that move he just did, he feinted with that right hand before he threw it, and he missed by inches and could have been a big punch to turn this fight around.
Remember, he knocked out Yusuf Mack in the 8th round for his 19th KO.
Watch your hands.
And that's a key point to remember. One punch can turn this around for Cloud.
7 seconds to go in the 7th, scheduled for 12 for the IBF light heavyweight world title. The champion, Tavoris Cloud, does not look good. Terrific job.
This is Campillo being very, very busy. It all starts with the jab, and then he keeps throwing those combinations. And even if everything doesn't land, the uppercut's been a staple for him. And this is when those kind of combinations tend to freeze Cloud.
He has no answer for it, Al. And that cut is getting severely bad right now. The referee was watching that cut, looking at it very closely before the end of this last round. We want to keep an eye on that.
Deep breath. Deep breath.
So much pressure on this young man, folks. His family, it's in their eyes, a hunger to take their family to the next level through his boxing career, wanting to secure big money paydays. Don King is his promoter. He's going to have to find something deep within now because he's losing this fight, and he may be losing it badly.
Well, remember now, 10-7 in round 1. So he got off to a big 3-point mark, and we feel like he won at least one other round. So he might not be too far behind if he is on the scorecard. So we'll see. But there's no question that in-between period and then that last round, Campillo did very, very well. Campillo, you know, Cloud beat Glenn Johnson as the original road warrior. Well, this guy's a road warrior too. Every major fight he's had has been on the road, and most of them, though not tonight, has been in the opponent's backyard. So Campillo knows how to respond to pressure away from home.
Campillo, nice right hook, and he steps off and says, take that with you.
I don't care what type of judge you are, you're not going to deny a guy that's throwing crisp, solid combination like that. It's so easy to judge in favor of that type of boxing.
I agree. It's just a question of rounds. You know, there's 4 points in the bank for Cloud,
right? Probably.
But Campillo's won probably every other round. So I'm saying it's not a huge margin right now for Campillo.
No, he's definitely in this fight, Al. And we know he has that one punch knockout power. He showed that earlier.
But I agree with you. Those rounds that he won, you have to go with them. And you see Cloud, the power punches in the last round, Campillo has completely switched it from the way it was early in the fight.
And we're talking about a power puncher in Cloud. So those are the categories that he must win if he's going to win the type of fight like this, defend his championship.
Absolutely. And as Campillo continues to peck away and win these 10-9 rounds, that's where he's going to get his margin, if he in fact continues to do it. And with Cloud going backward, he probably is going to keep doing it less. Oh, huge jab.
Wow. Combination punching by Campillo, pinning Cloud in the corner. Blood trickling into that left eye now. And that is a target, straight left hand landing on that left eye by Campillo. Cloud wilting. Campillo, another left hand. Cloud in the crown. The champion in major hot water.
Ooh. Campillo left himself wide open there, and a couple clubbing right hands got in. Campillo needs to keep his distance. Cloud is still dangerous in there.
I think Campillo has other ideas in mind. He may want to try to stop this fight before he gets to the scorecard.
You know, I think he did, and he's suffered through some very bad decisions. You betcha he wants him.
And he told us in our meeting that he wasn't worried about the judges. He knows that he has what it takes to win this fight, and he will. And so far, it's on the face of Tavoris Cloud.
This is 10.
That round for Campillo, one of the most impressive he's had in this fight, and he's had several very impressive ones. The jab was a key, a staple, and those combinations with the uppercut, a signature punch in those combinations, very impressive. Between the cut and the fatigue of Cloud, it's not looking good for him right now with this kind of combination puncher in front of him.
And right now, what's really draining him the most is the thought of losing in his head right now, because he don't have an answer. He don't have the answers for Campillo right now.
That's a great point. And he came into this fight, I got to be honest, I don't think he ever thought he could lose this fight. And there's his family.
Concerned, to say the least.
You guys talked to his wife Eileen and his mom, and we talked to him at the meeting, and you can feel a great family bond there. And they say this guy, when he's not in the ring, being this wild attacker, is just a concerned dad and husband, and they love him. And for them to be watching this is tough on them.
His mom, Emma, daughter, Alicia, ringside.
But give credit to Campillo, who weathered as bad a first round as you can possibly have to come back and show every skill that he has. It's remarkable, really.
And what's so amazing to me is if the referee would have stopped it at that point,
yes,
there wouldn't have been an argument, and we may have never got a chance to see this boxing
Well, I think that would have been a quick stoppage, and I think there was some question in his mind about it. But yeah, we wouldn't have seen this fight.
It just doesn't seem like Tavoris Cloud could pull the trigger tonight, and he's fighting a fight that we've never seen him fight. Going backwards, he's considered a slugger, a pressure fighter, heat in the kitchen. But Campillo, after the first round, has really backed him up.
And the reason that those punch numbers are so close in terms of landed is the first round, big edge to Cloud. That's where he built up a lot of punches. And then since then, it's been for the most part Campillo, except for one round.
It's a beautiful boxing exhibition right now by Campillo. He's doing everything that a fighter should. And every time he lands those three or four punch combinations, he takes that little angle. And then Tavoris Cloud can't get set, and he has to turn right back into those same punches that he was getting hit with earlier.
Campillo successful with the uppercut and the right hook. Then he steps off, real relaxed now for Campillo.
A reminder again, Campillo has lost two very questionable, or at a loss and a draw in his last two fights, very questionable decisions against Bebut Shumenov, a terrible decision, and a draw to Karo Murat. So he's going to want to try and do something to make sure he doesn't lose this decision. If it's not a knockout, maybe it's a knockdown, or it's dominating these rounds, if he can do it. And he is doing it.
And I would love to hear the type of instructions that are being given in Cloud's corner. What can they tell this young man to get his attention and let him know? Quote from one of the greatest trainers, God rest his soul, Angelo Dundee. You're blowing it, son.
Tavoris Cloud is trying to be aggressive, but the hand speed and the combination punching too much for him.
Obey the bell. Time.
Matador in the bowl, and right now the Matador is looking very good. And waiting in the wings, our main event tonight, Paul the Punisher Williams, 40-2. Is he at a crossroads in his career? After scoring a controversial decision over Laura. A fight in which all 3 judges in Atlantic City were indefinitely suspended after the fight. He'll take on a hot fighter, Nobuhiro Ishida, who has recorded knockouts in the first round in his last 2 fights.
9 minutes left. 9 minutes left. Keep working the body. Keep working the body and get the jab going. You got to keep working. Keep working hard.
That was Pablo Sarmiento, who, of course, took over as trainer of Campillo. He trained Sergio Martinez, the great middleweight champion, and he may have himself another champion after tonight.
12 rounds for the IBF light heavyweight world title. The challenger, Gabriel Campillo, was knocked down twice in the first round, managed to survive and get out of the round. But since that first round, he's been spectacular against the champion, Tavoris Cloud, in the Tiger Trunks. And let's check in with Chuck Jampa and find out how he has unofficially scored this fight.
Campillo absolutely dominating, 86-83. Bear in mind, if it goes to the decision, we've got 2 judges that have not had a title fight. I think one had 1 title fight. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're looking at this fight also. Very close for them.
And now look at Campillo. Turning, throwing multiple punches on angles. And Tavoris Cloud looks like he just can't pull the trigger. Since the second round, he's been stuck in neutral. No snap on his punches now.
Yeah, Gus, he's pushing those punches, and that is a big issue, because if you take his power away at this point, there's no equalizer for him.
And I'll tell you, again, I mean, sometimes people can take for granted fighting a southpaw.
Yes.
But it's not the easiest thing in the world.
No.
I mean, these punches are coming at you from foreign angles that you're not used to or accustomed to. It's not just a walk in the park when you face a very good southpaw like Campillo.
He fought 2 southpaws who combined had maybe 6 wins in their career, early in his career. He's never faced, at this point, until tonight, a world-class lefty, and it's giving him fits.
He looks confused. Reggie Strickland, Joey Hill, long time ago, all the way back to 2005, Tavoris Cloud fought southpaws. Cloud had to change his sparring partners after being notified that he wouldn't fight a right-handed fighter, he'd fight a lefty.
Cloud landed a really good right hand about 40 seconds ago. It did nothing.
Nothing. And I'll tell you, man, when you look at boxing, when you start training for being a boxer, a lot of fighters are always offensive-minded. Let's get this knockout. Let's look impressive. But if you want longevity in the game, you're going to have to learn it from A to B to Z. And that's defense. It's the sport of the art of self-defense, self-preservation. It takes defense in order to be successful in boxing.
Campillo, straight left hand, followed by sticking the jab as he heads to the corner. The champion, battered, bruised, and bloody. Now don't forget, folks, we've got a good one for you. Coming up, Showtime Championship Boxing returns Saturday, March 10th at 10 p.m. with the WBO Featherweight Championship. Orlando Salido defends the belt he won last April against previous titleist Juan Manuel Lopez.
We were once dubbed the network of upsets. That one was an upset, and tonight, where a title was taken away, and tonight we could be seeing another one. That's what you call competitive fights.
And that was an incredible fight. Unfortunately, guys, I wasn't with you.
This time you're going to come down. Baby. We missed it down there.
On the mid-distance, okay? If you have to tie him up, tie him up. All right.
Back up. Ready?
The 11th round scheduled for 12 for the IBF light heavyweight world title. The challenger has been sensational since being knocked down twice in round one. Gabriel Campillo in the red and gold from Madrid, Spain, 21-3-1, taking on the undefeated Tavoris Cloud at 23-0, the champion. And what must be going through Cloud's mind right now when he realizes that he has been peppered since the second round and he could lose everything that he dreamed about. Campillo moving in.
And Campillo right now is confident, man. He walked back to the corner with his hand raised. He came out this round with pep in his step, and he is hurting Tavoris Cloud right now.
He said during our meeting yesterday, yes, Cloud is strong. He's a strong fighter. However, he doesn't have much technique, and he's not that fast. I will use fast movement and the most important word, Antonio, intelligence to beat him.
And that's what it takes to be a complete fighter. And I want young fighters to understand that. You know, it takes a smart fighter. You have to outthink your opponent before you beat your opponent.
Cloud in major trouble again. Campillo putting on a clinic now.
And those numbers we saw, total power punches with a huge edge, demonstration of what Campillo's done in this fight. And they're going to look at that cut.
They're going to have to look at a couple cuts. I think he has one on his left eye as well as the two on his right eye, Al.
Gabriel Campillo as they take a look. And they're going to let him continue. Will that serve as a wake-up call for Tavoris Cloud? He's got to do something. He's got to find lightning in a bottle right now. He may be losing this fight. There, now he puts forth more energy. Campillo toying with them.
Well, Tavoris Cloud was no shrinking violet coming into this fight in terms of his posturing against the Spaniard. And, you know, now it's Campillo's turn. And he's having his way, and he's having some fun in that ring.
It's important that Tavoris Cloud stay relaxed. And when Campillo opens up, he needs to throw with him in order to land that big shot. Let's see if he's standing there. It is.
Nice right hand by Tavoris Cloud. That backs him up. May have hurt him. He looks a little shaky.
That's exactly what Antonio was talking about, and it came because he was showboating.
That's why he got comfortable. Now it's important that Tavoris Cloud take advantage of the opportunity. Right now he needs to be digging to the body in order to break this guy down.
But what does Cloud have in his tank? Have left in his tank, excuse me.
This is a close round right here.
Mom Emma, wife Eileen, daughter Alicia, 6 years old.
I got it. Yeah.
Campillo showboating, and he got caught with a can opener.
Well, Campillo had landed more than 20 more punches in that round, so he was comfortable. He said, hey, I'm showboating. I'm going to have some fun with this guy. You see him here. And Antonio had just made a very profound point about punching with him and finding that one moment when you could land the big punch, and there it was. That's a great right hand, just like the ones he hurt him with in round one, but he couldn't follow up effectively on.
And the difference is that Campillo is full of confidence right now. I don't know what he's going to be able to do to win this title away from Campillo right now, because I have him ahead.
Yeah. And this guy knows it.
Remember, the first round, 2 knockdowns. 10-7 round. We start the 12th and final round. For the IBF World Light Heavyweight title, the undefeated Tavoris Thunder Crowd in the Tiger Trunks. The challenger, Gabriel Campillo from Madrid, Spain, in the red and gold.
Tavoris Cloud undefeated, of course, as a fighter, and of course he's undefeated 4-0 in world championship fights. Campillo is 3-2-1 in 12-round fights. Twice he's had fights taken away from him, and one, the draw was questionable as well. So, you know, this guy's got to be a little, you know, he's dominated this fight. He's hoping that the judges see it the right way.
I believe Tavoris Cloud needs a knockdown in this particular round and win this round 10-8 in order to save his championship.
Or to get close even, maybe a draw to save his championship, possibly. And even that would be questionable.
Campillo has gone 12 rounds 6 times. He's 3-2-1. Tavoris Cloud, on the other hand, not as much experience going 12 rounds. He's gone 12 rounds 3 times.
I inadvertently mentioned that Sergio Martinez, I suggested he was from Spain. Of course, he's from Argentina.
1:20 to go in the 12th and final round.
Right now, Campillo is making a mistake. We've seen this before with Oscar De La Hoya in Trinidad. He didn't fight and didn't finish this last round. He needs to close the show. This guy is still the IBF champion, and don't take anything for granted when it comes down to these scorecards.
That's a great analogy, too.
1 minute remaining. Nice left hand by Campillo. Chico Guapo may be 50 seconds away from his 2nd world championship. But can he finish? Has he done enough?
Chico Guapo means handsome man. I thought that was Antonio's nickname. How come you let him get that?
28 seconds to go.
He's looking handsome right now in the ring, isn't he?
Yeah. Cloud still throwing some heat, though.
In this round, Cloud has outlanded Campillo by a couple of punches, but would it be enough just to win a 10-9 round?
Campillo telling us this not only would change his economic fortune, it would change his whole life if he could find a way to win a world title. We will see.
He closed the show, gentlemen. He closed the show.
You know, the interesting thing to me as you look at the family of Cloud, then I think Tavoris Cloud, I'm going to be so bold as to say, I believe he was a little overconfident coming into this fight. I believe there was no way he thought he could possibly lose this fight. And I'm telling you, this man's a real fighter.
And he proved that tonight, Al. He did.
Let's go all the way back, though, to round 1.
Now, this is a seminal moment in this fight. First of all, there was the knockdown from the big right hand. That created, obviously, a big problem. It was early enough in the round. That was the first knockdown, and we'll take a look at it again, and you'll see the right hand of Cloud. Beautiful jab, double jab that sets this up. And as Antonio pointed out, he's not just a hooker, he's got power in his right hand as well. But here's the most important moment in this whole fight. He gets in trouble and is put against the ropes, and Mark Nelson, the referee, who looks like he might even be coming in to stop it, instead makes what I believe is the appropriate call, calling it a knockdown because the ropes kept him up. Had he stopped the fight at that point inappropriately, we would have been robbed of a great fight.
You're absolutely right, Al.
So let's take a look at the final show stats. Cloud versus Campillo.
We look at those numbers, and you know, a lot of that came from Campillo round after round after round, kind of building back up a lead after he was so far down. And he won in all those categories. You know, Cloud won the jab category, but that's not what the power punch is supposed to do, is it?
Yeah, the power punch is really what I'm in awe with right now, 33%. Those are some big shots, and at the end, I mean, those shots was really affecting Tavoris Cloud.
All right, with that said, time now to go inside the ring for the official decision with our Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we have a split decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Denny Nelson, scores the bout 115 to 111 in favor of Gabriel Campillo. Judge at ringside, David Robertson, scores it 116 to 110 in favor of Tavoris Cloud. And judge at ringside, Joel Elizondo, scores the bout 114 to 112 in favor of the winner and still champion, Tavoris Thunder Cloud.
They did it again to Campillo.
Wait a minute. There is an injured person in the ring, and it looks like his mother has fainted. Emma.
Oh, my.
The crowd reacting to Gabriel Campillo, who, when this fight is talked about and written about, I am sure that many will say that he was unjustly robbed in this fight. In my opinion, he looked much better, and he deserved to win this fight this evening.
I don't know how you can look at it any other way, despite the 3 points in the first round.
Now let's go inside the ring where our Jim Gray is standing by with Tavoris Cloud.
All right, thank you very much, Gus. Congratulations, Tavoris. First, tell us about your mother, Emma Smith, who I know you're very concerned with. It looked as though she's fainted and is out on her feet. Is she okay?
Yeah, she's going to be okay. She's a strong woman. She had a strong son. She's going to be all right.
She looks like her eyes are open and the doctor's attending to her. Did you feel as though you won this fight?
Yeah, I feel like I won the fight. I dropped him several times early in the fight. I was the aggressor throughout the fight, you know, but he a good fighter. He a good fighter, but he cannot take a punch. He cannot take a punch. He a decent fighter and everything, but I feel I won the fight. I was the aggressor throughout the fight. He didn't do enough to take my title.
In the first round, you had him down, almost out the second time. Do you feel as though the ropes helped him stay up and the referee jumped in there and said that was a knockdown? Do you feel as though you would have put him away right then?
Yeah, I would have put him away, you know, but things happen in boxing, and sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't.
It feels as though to this crowd, and looking to all of the announcers at ringside, as though he dominated the fight after that first round. Was it your feeling that you were behind in this fight coming into the final round?
No, it was my feeling just to stay busy. Just to stay busy and keep being aggressive. He real slick, you know, so that's how I think a puncher should fight a boxer, especially a southpaw boxer.
Referee ruled in an early round that was from a punch. They cut on your eye, then you got a second cut on your eye. How much did that bother you throughout the fight?
It didn't bother me. I always get cuts and bruises. And what did he say?
Keep going. That's okay.
They don't argue with them. Don't argue with them. Tell him. Don't argue with him.
Talking to your wife, not to argue. Go ahead.
Huh?
Did you feel as though he's deserving, Chico, of a rematch?
If the crowd feel he deserves another rematch, we'll give him a rematch later on. You know, but as of right now, it's on the bigger and better thing.
Okay, Tavoris, congratulations. Still undefeated. We'll see you next time down the road.
Thank you.
Okay, let's walk over here now to Chico. Felix De Jesus will come interpret for us as he's walking around the ring. Chico, let us talk to you for just a moment. Hold on. Un momento, por favor. Un momento. Well, we're having trouble as his team is walking him around the ring, obviously to the cheers of the crowd. Senor, un momento. Just a moment here. Felix De Jesus will interpret. You feel, obviously, Chico, as though you won this fight.
Dime, ¿qué pensaste de la pelea? ¿Tú pensaste que ganaste la pelea?
Sí, bueno, él me conectó una buena mano en el primer asalto que sentí. Yo asimilo que perdí ese primer asalto, pero creo que durante toda la pelea hicimos un trabajo excepcional, muy superior a él. Yo me sentí muy superior.
He thinks that after the first, where he did get knocked out and he did feel that first punch, that after that he controlled the fight and that he had an exceptional game plan, and he did it tonight.
As the fans continue to chant your name, he has now had 3 very questionable decisions. Is there something he feels he's doing wrong that can't get the judges to go along with him, because he could have been judged to have won all of these fights?
Vamos que la fanaticada está detrás de ti, pero son 3 peleas ya que parece que tú has ganado y no has podido venir con la victoria. ¿Por qué pasa eso? ¿Qué ha pasado?
Pasa por, no sé, en este deporte parece que el que juega en casa parte con ventaja. Yo no sé explicarlo.
He doesn't know in this sport how things happen sometimes in boxing. He feels that the homegrown talent probably has the advantage.
Would he like a rematch, and would he come back here and fight in a rematch in this country?
Quiere una revancha y va a venir una cosa.
Inmediata.
Of course he would want an immediate rematch.
Chico, thank you. Appreciate it.
Gracias.
Okay, Gus, back to you.